Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today? Thank you. Happy Thursday, wherever you're joining us from. I am glad you're here with us on Story Time today. And yes, what a lineup we have this week, and another great story coming up right now. This one will be coming up very, very shortly, and this one is called All the Things We're For. Yes, all the things we're for. And this one written and illustrated by, yes, the amazing, the award-winning Innosanto Nagara. And I am excited to share this one with you today. And of course, Innosanto Nagara, known for A is for activist and many others. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today, and I am glad that you are here for this one. Yes, another story awaits us today. This one published by 7 Stories Press. Yes, indeed, a big thank you to them for allowing us to read this book right here on Storytime. Thank you so much for being here. As always, let me know where you're joining in from and who indeed is joining in with you today. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you. Oh, the things we're for. Yes, this one by Innosanto Nagara. Get ready, get comfortable, get cozy, because we have a good ride ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Welcome. Yes, Thursday is here. Time just seems to fly. It seems like yesterday was Monday. Thank you for joining in. I hope that you are well. If you are taking your finals right now, I'm wishing you the very best. I can feel that. I know I'm in the same shoes. Enjoy it. Try and enjoy it as hard as it can be, or indeed as grueling as it can be. And of course, if you are looking forward to the holidays, whatever holidays that you're celebrating, however you gather with your families, I hope that you do gather. I hope that you can do that safely. I hope people are vaccinated. I hope that indeed there are ways that you can get around and maybe even meet in outdoor space. Let us remember to meet safely however we gather. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am glad that we are here together. Thank you. Let us see who is with us today on this ride. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you, Nathan and Sarah. How are you doing today? And good morning to you, Amanda West, as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Always a pleasure having you here. Absolutely love it that we're here together again for another amazing story. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, indeed. And anybody else that is here with us, please let us know so we can say good morning to you and, of course, wish you a lovely day. Thank you to everybody that's joining in for the recordings after. I hope that you're enjoying them. Please always remember, you can leave a message for me on those, whether on Facebook or YouTube. Leave a message for us and we'll be able to make sure that we get back to you later on. And, of course, if you have recommendations, I encourage you to share those recommendations with us so that we can definitely work to bring those stories to story time. And most of the stories we should be able to bring, and I will definitely let you know if we cannot bring it. Thank you so much for joining in. And also, I've just remembered Sarah and Nathan. I know I promised you that I would send you a picture of a book that I love with the new book about cats, and I will send that. I'm just remembering right now. I took the picture but forgot to send it, so I will send it right after this reading, and I'm sure it'll be one that you're going to enjoy. Maybe you already know it as is. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely love it. Betty Deshay, how are you doing today? Good morning to you. And of course, Kiki, Rikia, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love it that you are here. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime. Thank you for joining in. I will see you at school as well. Thank you for joining in Storytime, Rikia. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Is it happy with the book? Please tell me again where you're joining in from. Tennessee. Good morning to you. I am glad you're here. Please, if anybody else is joining in with you, do let us know who it is and we can say good morning to them as well. But if you are here alone, welcome to Storytime still. Thank you. And today we have a good one. We have this one here from Innosanto Nagara, and this one is called "Oh, the Things We're For." Yes, do you want to know? And this one is written and illustrated by Innosanto Nagara. Yes, known for A is for activist, among others. Thank you so much for joining in, and we'll be getting ready for this one. Get comfortable, get cozy. Go now, grab that cup of juice, grab that cup of milk, or whatever it is that you're drinking this morning. Hot chocolate. Yes, indeed. Get ready, because story time is in for a ride today. A beautiful book by Innosanto Nagara, and of course, reading it with permission of Innosanto himself and Seven Stories Press. Thank you for allowing us to share this material here on Storytime. And of course, do find it where you find books at your local library, and of course, ask that your schools have it so you can read it and enjoy it some more. Thank you so much for joining in today. All right, here we go. Let us get started, and we'll get started after this break. Join me on the other side. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Olalu Oganyemi, officer in the United States Marine Corps and author of Crow from the Shadow. You are tuned in with my brother on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. Enjoy, and God bless.
Thank you, Olaolu, my brother. Thank you so much for that message. And of course, he has a new book out, which will be read on Storytime, hopefully this coming week. And that one is Horace the Housefly. So get ready for that. But for today, here we go. The Things We're For. Yes, indeed. This one written and illustrated by Innosanto Nagara, read with permission, yes, of Seven Stories Press. Here we go. Oh, yes. The things we're for. Do you want to know? Here we go. When you go to a march and raise your sign high, you will make people smile. Who thought you were shy? Oh, yes. And you will make people wonder, does that kid really know why? Kids know more than we think, right? Understand a lot more than we think. But people will wonder, does that kid really know why? Oh, you tell them. You do know, of course. That's why you're there. You are there to say no because you do care. You're there to say stop. What's happening's not fair. You're there to say stop. What's happening is not fair. We can't keep doing what we're doing the way it's been done. We can't keep using it, moving it, running it how it's been run. Standing together, that's how change can be won. Oh, yes. So, yes, you do know what's up and why you are there. But that's not the big question, at least not for me. It's not folks who don't know or just disagree. It's folks who want to be with us but feel that that they simply just can't see. Folks who say, we want to resist, we're on the same page. Our problems are serious. That's easy to see. Destruction must stop. We can't let it be. Stop pollution and poisoning and cheating and stealing. No one likes dictators or violence or kids going hungry. End poverty. Stop war. But okay, then what are you for? Oh, what are we for? That is my favorite question. And I am sure it's yours too, because you pay attention. You have so many answers and so many options and so many solutions that you want to impart. The only hard question is, where does one start? So much to talk about in the world, isn't there? Oh, let's listen to some now. We have to start somewhere. So let's take a peek. Take something we all do. We all get sick, don't we? We get wheezy and sneezy and snuffly noses. We get headaches and tummy aches and sometimes throw up. Oh yeah. So we sip some hot soup and we get a good rest. And soon we feel better and back to our best. But sometimes being sick is harder than that. The nurses may say we need more than just rest. The doctors may want to give us a test. Perhaps they will tell us to get an x-ray. It might even mean a hospital stay. Oh. And when there's a virus that starts to run wild, more people get sicker, though some cases are mild. But so many sickies means so many needs and so many meds, and not enough nurses and not enough beds. Oh, we know so much. But then we are asked, who's gonna pay? Sadly, the answer is pretty not funny. When companies decide to make all the money deciding who gets cared for and who does not, depending on cash you put in their pot. So if you have means, you get care that you need. But if you don't, well, you're in trouble indeed. So here's an idea that we all share. We all do our part and put in what's fair. And then when we need it, we have access to care. So healthcare for all is a thing that we're for. Should I go on? Continue this tour? No problem, for sure. Oh yes, healthcare for all. We all know now that the climates are changing, that Earth is warming, and the sea level is rising. The ice shelves are melting, which is not all surprising, since science was warning that the globe will keep warming if we keep burning the stuff we've been burning. Oh yeah. But is there an answer? Some people may ask. Why, yes, you say, if we're up to the task. Oh yes, there's a big task ahead of us, but it can be done. Look up, you exclaim. What do you see? A huge ball of plasma, clean energy for fuel, and for free. So instead of drilling and spilling and, let's be honest, even killing for dirty dead dinosaur goop that should stay in the ground, let's embrace the sun and wind and earth. Nature's power will always abound. If anyone's still not sure what you mean, what we can change so our future is green, well, it starts with committing to making it real, working together to seal a new deal. Oh, yes. So much work, but it can be done. Wow, they say. Universal healthcare, they say. Solar energy, such big things for a kid. Okay, that's cool. But shouldn't you be focused on kid things like play dates and school? Oh, school and play? Why, yes, on that you have so much to say. We learn more with more recess. Yes. And time to eat lunch. Yes. We learn more with more recess and more time to eat lunch. Much smaller classes. We can't learn in a crunch. If we memorize and drill and are taught to be tested, real thinking does not get invested. Critical minds can't flourish that way. And speaking of teaching, our teachers need much, much better pay. Mm. Oh, I can attest. We need schools that are safe. We need freedom to range. We need libraries and sports. We need cultural exchange. We need music and arts to fill our brains and our hearts. We should be seen as a whole people with many different kinds of smarts. There are so many ideas upon which we can call for a free and fair and public education for all. Yes, so much. Oh, I'll read that one more time. We need schools that are safe. We need freedom to range. We need libraries and sports. We need cultural exchange. We need music and arts to fill our brains and our hearts. We should be seen as a whole people with many different kinds of smarts. There are so many ideas upon which we can call for a free and fair and public education for all. Oh, so much in that. Yes. I hope that you're fortunate enough at your school to get the arts and music and everything that we hope you have. But let's get more personal. Let's talk about we. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about us and the many, many ways we can be. Let's celebrate the splendor of spectrums of gender. Let's recognize and value the many hues of our skin, the many languages we speak, our many lands of origin, to whom one may pray, yes, with whom one shares love, the diverse ways our minds work, our bodies we are proud of, those who've always been here, on whose lands we now tread, those who dare speak up, those who act quietly instead. But let's be clear that harm has been done. Futures were stolen, whether by sword or by gun. We can't flip a switch and say that we are there. A history of injustice takes more to repair. To balance the scales, we must reclaim what they stole and do the hard work to make us all whole. Oh, yes, so much. Let us try. Those who've always been here, on whose lands we now trade, those who dare to speak up, those who act quietly. But let's be clear that harm has been done. Futures were stolen by sword and by gun. We can't flip a switch and say that we are there. A history of injustice takes more to repair. To balance the scales, we must reclaim what they stole and do the hard work to make us all whole. Oh, yes. Making us whole. That's really the theme. It's not as difficult as it may seem. Look them up, they say. Throw away the key. Sorry, lock them up, they say. Throw away the key. That's the quick fix that some want to see. But let's take a moment and take a close look. Who gets locked up? Where? How? And why? A pattern of how the judgments we face are different for each based on money and race. And even if they were, quote unquote, fair, and those doing time, quote unquote, deserve to be there, is putting humans in cages the best that we can do? In 10,000 years, have we learned nothing new? We have, of course, and that's the good news. There are much better options from which we can choose. Lift up the idea that we dispose of no one. We are each of us more than our worst acts. There is no panacea. Work must be done. Liberations for all of us, or else it's for none. Speaking of work, we've ideas there too. Things we can change, things we can do. So many people work hard for their pay, but hardly make ends meet at the end of the day. It shouldn't be so. And as if just working wasn't hard enough, they are all alone when the going gets rough. There are so many ways that these things can be tough. We don't even have room to list all of that stuff. Oh, yes, so much going on. But suffice it to say, there is many a way where workers have rights and workers have sway, where we work with each other in union as one, or better yet, in co-ops for fairness and fun. And when our rights come under attack, we will know who's got your back. Oh, yes. Okay, I know, that's a lot, yes. But hey, they asked, so they get what they got. They opened the door for solutions galore when they asked, what are you for? Maybe they'd hoped for something lighthearted, but you, my friend, are just getting started. Oh, yes. So, as you can see, there's much to be done. Yes, much to be fixed and much to be run. But having to do stuff isn't so bad. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's do something rad. Oh, yes. Let's shout out solutions from sea to sea. Yes, indeed. Let's shout out those solutions from sea to sea. Let's yell out our favorites. I hope you will join me. Yes, there's so many on here. Which ones can you see? There's co-housing, kids' rights, yes, sanctuary, oh, public transit, better public transit, right? Oh, living wages, please. Open spaces, parks, arts in schools, more recess, more lunchtime, diversity. Oh, so many. What can you see? Libraries. Oh, so much that we want. Freedom of speech. Social workers. Mental health workers. Yes. So much that we want. To you, these ideas are never a bore. You've already shared many and have many, oh, so many more. When you care for the world as much as you do, creating solutions is, so you. Of course, not all solutions are the best they can be. And on some things, we may disagree. Oh, yes. But it all starts with caring and agreeing to sharing. A radical act if we are daring. Oh, yes. But this is all stuff that you already know. You are ready to go. You are ready to soar. You are ready to start. You are ready to roar. Yes. So off now. Let's go. Let's start working. Let's start building the future we are for. Yes, indeed. Oh, my goodness. The end. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Yes, that is all the things we're for. What are you for? Yes, from all the things that we've talked about, climate change, workers' rights, better schools for our kids, better parks, more parks, many other things, health workers cared for, so many things, healthcare. Where can we start? There's so much to talk about. I hope that you are able to join in that and indeed feel that burn as well, that you need to go out there and make a difference. And you know what? So proud of our young people that are activists right now, doing so much to make this world better. And indeed, as adults, let's remember to do our very best so that we are living a world that is indeed fit for our children, that is indeed beautiful out there. So thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. So much to talk about in that book. But yes, this has been the things we're for from Innosanto Nagara. I love this one and I hope that you enjoyed it. Please find it where you find books at your local library. Start from there, ask for it. Hopefully you do have a library in your area that you can borrow books from. And of course, find it at your school if you're going to school, or indeed wherever else you find books. And if you have extras, please do share. Maybe you have the little libraries in your street. Put one out there so somebody else can get to enjoy it, and most importantly, learn from it as well. Thank you so much for joining me in Story Time. That has been our book for today. I am glad you were here for that one. Yes, the things we're for. But tomorrow we're back. Another story, more learning, more fun. And this one is called A Polar Bear in the Snow. Yes, indeed, this one by the amazing Mark Barnett and, of course, Sean Harris with amazing art. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope that you join us for this tomorrow. And remember, we mentioned global warming, climate change, how the polar ice caps are melting. Well, this one, we see that we share the earth with so many different beings, and we have a responsibility to make sure that everybody is surviving, everybody is thriving. Actually, we meant to make sure that. So please let us remember to play our parts and do what we can. Whatever is in our power, let us make sure that we do it that helps this earth. Thank you for joining in. Let us go out there and help our planet. Let us save our planet. Let us make sure that we take care of our planet. This planet takes care of us so much. Thank you for joining in today. I hope that you enjoyed that story. I absolutely did. And it is a great way indeed to start the day, or indeed to set off in the day thinking about these things. And challenging, of course, writing letters to our leaders, challenging the people that we elect, challenging our representatives to make sure that things are done right, that things are done justly, and that we make sure too that where care is needed, care is taken. Thank you for joining me on Story Time today. Absolutely love it, and happy with the book. You say, I love this book. Speaks up so to kids, not down to them. These kids, these young people, yes, indeed, these young humans are so capable. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you for that summation. Absolutely appreciate it. Happy with the book. I think it is so important. It is indeed a great book. And as we know, I work with kids too, and I'm sure you have kids in your lives. And we talk about these things come up, and you're just amazed to see how much our little ones know. And it should not be amazing, but we always think of kids as, they just need to play, they don't know this. But kids know so much, and they have many solutions as well. So let us involve them in the decision making. I love what some school districts are doing, what some places are doing, involving the students in decision making. That helps run those places, that helps make those places better. So indeed, thank you so much for summing that up in such a beautiful way. Happy with the book. Thank you to everybody that joined in Story Time. I could go on forever. Yes, indeed. All the things we're for. As we go out today in the day, think to yourself, what is something that you stand for? What is something that you are for? Thank you for joining in Story Time today. Absolutely appreciate it. Thank you, 7 Stories. Thank you, Triangle Square. And of course, Innosanto Nagara, for allowing us to share that lovely book here on Story Time. Thank you. Good morning to you, Christy. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, love it. Theo, a big hug for you. Thank you so much for joining in. Growing too fast, Theo. Growing way too quickly. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely love it. Oh, thank you. I am glad to be part of your breakfast table and enjoy it. Yes, send those beautiful smells of good food my way. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate you. And of course, Christy, congratulations. I'm still, just sitting next to this book, the wonderful book by Christy Deprin. If you've not seen it, A Heart in the Sand, yes, and it is a bilingual book, so please do find this one as well. Good friend of mine, and of course, a beautiful book that everyone should be reading right now. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely love it. And Theo, hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for joining in. To everybody that was here, Sarah and Nathan, Amanda, thank you for joining us. Absolutely love it. To everybody that is joining in for the recording, we send you hugs and we send you all the positive vibes and hope that you have a lovely day. Oh, indeed have had a lovely day. And whenever you're joining in for this one, I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you. And I hope that it challenges you to think about the things around our world. Betty Deshay and of course, Rikia, we will see you later on at Emerson. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. To everybody that was here for this wonderful book, thank you. And I will see you again tomorrow when we're back for this one. Paula Bear in the Snow, Mark Barnett, and Sean Harris. Thank you. This has been Story Time for today. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope you and your loved ones have a lovely day and indeed have a lovely tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. Thank you so much for joining in. Much, much love. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
We're different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lumada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.